It's Scott again, a homeowner with another quick how-to video. Today what I'm dealing with is this fluorescent light assembly in my laundry room is no good anymore. It's not the bulbs. It's most likely what's called the ballast, which is underneath there. So instead of replacing the ballast, because it's just as expensive as a new fixture almost, I'm just going to replace the whole thing. Show you real quick how to do that. I already removed the cover and the light bulbs. If you don't know how to do that, you probably shouldn't be messing with this anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn off the power at the circuit breaker. That's always a good idea. Make sure the switch is off and we'll get started. Now if you'll notice, there's screws that are holding this up to the ceiling. There's one there, here, all the way down here, and down on the end. Doesn't look like there's any on the other side. So let's start taking those out. Now, doing this with one hand, like I do in all my videos. You can use a hand Phillips or flathead. This is a Phillips or a battery drill. I think that's what I'm going to do. That might be a lot faster. I'm just going to go down and take them out. You can see the thing coming down. Decided to do this one first on the end. I'm doing this one hand holding this. And that came out. Now let's see what we got. Okay, all the screws are out. And there's the wires. Now I'm just going to start trying to get these out. You see they're wire nutted together. Positive, negative, and this looks like a ground here. I'm just trying to get these wires out. Looks like a positive, a negative, the ground. I might have to take this part off to get to the ground. This just kind of squeezes, it looks like. Probably should have took this out first. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. And I just exposed the wires and see, put that down. Yeah, I should have took that out first. And that's why the ground is hooked underneath. So that's what we're going to hook to the new one. And those, and here's your ballast. This is the thing that went bad. I'm going to just unhook this ground right here with flathead screwdriver. Yeah, I probably should have did this first. Now it's hanging here. And then this is this hoop. Okay, so that's just going to go through there. And then we're just going to unhook the positive. You just unscrew these wire nuts. Remember, it's color coded, white to white. I'm doing this with one hand, guys, so give me a little break. And then I'm just going to unscrew this one and take the whole thing out. So that's what you're left with, 3 wires. Now here's the new one, and I noticed it was about 20 bucks. It's actually smaller than the one I just took off, but that's all right. It was cheaper. We'll make it work. And if you notice on the new one, same wires. The black is going to go to the black, which is negative, the white to the white, positive, and then here's your ground. Now this could hook up right here to the metal piece, or I could take that screw off and hook it up right there. We'll see how it goes. Now if you see, I had to use 2 hands. I just hooked it right up to the ground like the other one was, and took the green wire that was hanging there off. Now I just got to connect the black to the black and the white to the white. What you do here is you just hold the white and the white wire together, and you slip the wire nut right over top of the two, and then you turn the wire nut to the right and it tightens those together. I have to do it with 2 hands though. It came with some fresh wire nuts, so I'm going to use them. And now the same thing, hold these two together, push the wire nut over it and tighten it. See how pretty that is? And we're tightening it this way over them, okay? Now I'm going to push these wires, try to get them up inside that hole and get this whole thing flat after those wires are in the hole, and just screw it back to the ceiling. Okay, I decided I think I'm going to use toggle bolts. Go through this hole, that's probably why it's there, and go right into the ceiling here, with the hole here. And the way a toggle bolt works is, this is a toggle bolt. So when it goes into that hole, see, it goes up into that hole like that, and then it opens up once it gets through, and it hangs in the ceiling like that. And that'll tighten this whole thing out, one on each side. So if you see, I put the one bolt through that hole and into the toggle bolt, and then pushed it up into the ceiling. And then that'll tighten up along with the one I'm going to put over here. But I had to make another hole, so I'm going to drill a hole here because I want this hole and this to line up with that hole so I can get the wires in there real good and then put it tight against the ceiling. I think I'm gonna have to make that bigger. I can tell the previous person who put this up had a lot of problems with all these holes. I'm gonna try and make this a little bit bigger. Okay, I had to put a washer on here because the screw was too small. But you see how I just pushed that toggle bolt right up through that hole? And then I'll be able to tighten these and it'll close up against the ceiling. And now I'm just pushing these wires up into this hole. I don't know why they make these holes so small. Put all those wires in. They just have a big hole. I don't know. What do I know? Just a homeowner. So I got them in there pretty good. Now I'm just gonna start. As you can see, I'm just gonna tighten it, and this thing just gradually goes up to the ceiling. I don't know why that other guy had all those screws down there when he could have just used these. And I'm going to tighten up the other side too. Alright, nice and tight. You can see the wires. Push them up as much as I can. Alright, looks good. Now let's put the bulbs in and see how this baby works. Alright, it works great. I was just thinking there's probably supposed to be a plate on this to cover up that hole. Oh my goodness, that wouldn't pass inspection, would it? Well, it's just my house, so I don't want to hear any bad comments about it. Maybe I could figure something out on that. But that's how I did it. There's a million different ways to do it, so if you're an electrician, keep your comments to yourself. Alright, hope that helps. Have a good day. Well, guys, I didn't want to leave the video like that because that was wrong, but all I did was pull this out, unhook those wire nuts, put them back on, pushed it in here, and now I'm just going to close it like that so that it protects the wires. Now it's up to code. Alright, so I don't hear any complaints. So now everybody's probably happy. Alright, is that better for everybody? Alright, y'all have a good day.